Hey, welcome to No Man's Sky Beyond. Here's a guide to getting an excellent start and set yourself up for success later in the game. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get 2.5 million units from only 2 planets in one system using your base ship and using this very simple method. This sets you up for hundreds of millions of units later in the game, a great new ship, a multi-tool, and much more. So let's get on with it. So here we have a new game, and so we have 0 units. Bit of a harsh planet, this one, but this is what you can get. An exosuit that's maxed out, starship, S-class that is, an A-class multi-tool, a freighter, and look at that in the top left there, more than 150 million units, using just this simple method. So we've just got our analyzer, so let's get a few units on the clock. Scan a few things around here. You only get 200 or 400 here, but it's a good start. Don't forget to keep on scanning things here because it doesn't just give you units here, it can also give you nanites later on in the game. So just have a good look around, find anything you can scan and start to feel a little bit more comfortable. Note this is a fairly harsh climate, so we're going to have to get under cover very quickly as well here as well. So let's go under cover and let's see what we can find down here. Keep an eye out for things that you can grab, such as these vortex units. They're saleable. Not only do you get the vortex units, but you also get some tetracobalt if you pick them up as well. So just grab these. Feels like one of your slots in your exosuit, but you'll still be getting yourself some more slots there through this method. Okay, so now we've got a few units, 6,800. We've got a few nanites as well, and some stuff to make our bags feel a bit heavier. Vortex units and that rusted metal, lots of things we've collected along the way. I've really been off and got my hermetic seal, of course. And we're not going to worry about quicksilver in this video. So we've got our ship up and running, so let's get going. This is where we can actually start to make some more units. And after a little bit of flying around, you're going to find a few things. I got lucky here and I found a trading post that's just about to come up. They're on the left. So I'm going to pop down there. Trading posts are a very useful place to buy and sell items, learn new alien words and trade with other pilots that have flown in. You can also engage with the NPCs to learn new words and get other information. So I'll just land here. Got a bit of a stutter on my screen here, and I found out how actually to fix that, so it's all good now. Let's have a quick chat with this guy here and pick up a new word. This will be our first word of the game in an alien language. So request dialect help here. And you can do this with many of the NPCs at these points here, or in the smaller stations, or on the space stations as well. And so you get a choice here. Pretty much you'll learn a word. And we'll see how we can do some more of that a bit later on. But hey, we're actually now ready to sell anything we don't want and buy things that we do want. So this will free up some important slots in your exosuit and starship, and it'll get you really started on building that pile of units. At the moment we've only got 10,000 units there. Sell anything you don't want, but stock up on carbon, ferrite, oxygen, and sodium, and things like that early in the game, all of which are useful for recharging and for your survival in these early stages. So tetracobalt for 30,000 there. And just have a look around, and don't forget to actually look what's in your exosuit, and then go off and buy some things that you find that will be useful as well. So sodium's a good thing to buy at this stage. We've got 76,000 units here, so we can spend about 10% on sodium because it's very important. Don't need any cobalt, but look at that price there at the moment, and for later on, 237 units to buy it at this stage. We'll be paying attention a bit to that later on. Engage with other starship pilots whilst you're here to see what they have to sell. They might have things that are of interest to you as well here. You might find it useful to find some Starship launch fuel if you can afford it, but also look at their Starship and compare it with yours on price, slots and other features. This one has 21 slots versus your 15. It's got identical damage, shield and hyperdrive stats, and at 695,000, unfortunately at this stage, it's too expensive. But it'll be a useful target perhaps for later in the game. Other ships, such as this one here, might actually have better stats. This is an A-class with more slots and bigger stats, but wow, look at that price. I think we'll leave that one for the moment. Remember to check out all containers as you're going around because you'll find useful things in there. And click on these save posts as well because, again, that'll actually save your position in the game, but you can also use the experience. And of course, hey, look around for more items that you can pick up and sell later on. Okay, so we've finished here. So let's lift off into space and shoot up some asteroids for tritium to charge your pulse engines and to get some rare metals such as silver, gold, and platinum. And these will sit in the slots in your starship. So when you're selling stuff, remember to not just sell from your XOC, but also from your starship. So you'll see that I've got some silver from that, there's the tritium, some gold. And in other cases, you can shoot up these particular asteroids and they're pure gold or silver. And then some instances, they're also pure platinum as well. And so platinum's a lot rarer. You can see here, here's an example of some platinum. Generally, they look spiky in my experience, but you won't find them around as much. Tritium's really good. Hey, and look what we've just spotted. It's an ancient ruin on this planet over here. So we're going to go over there and we're going to get some rather large numbers of units here potentially. So this is an ancient ruin. You'll see them around. You'll be able to fly around. And here I've actually found the large artifact crate. I've got a video which is linked below and above that you can follow on how to do this. And here I've got something which is a water-stained cylinder. And if we look at it in my inventory now, you'll see it's worth about 205,000 units. So that's not bad for a few minutes' work. Fairly straightforward process. So check out that video. Some of these items at the ancient ruins can be worth up to 2 million. Now, if you see one of these around, it's a knowledge stone. You walk up to it and scan it to actually get another alien word. Now, this is a copper deposit. Copper's really important early in the game. And the important thing here is to actually, you've got to have the terrain manipulated on your multi-tool. And you have to set the size of that ray to as small as possible. Makes it a little bit more laborious, but you get more copper and other materials coming from it when you scan. Now, so the collected copper we had was about 150,000 units, but break out your portable refiner to create some more valuable chromatic metal, which you're going to need quite a bit of in the early stages of the game. So just put it in there with some carbon, the copper that is, and convert it to some chromatic metal. Okay, so we've been really busy. We've got, let's take our stock to a minor settlement, which you'll find around, where you can buy and sell loot. So this terminal here, I'm going to sell some less than useful items, such as pyrite for 1,290 units. There's Vortex cubes for around 17,000. We're going to keep our sodium because we want to keep that. Keep that cobalt for the moment as well. Tetra cobalt, 88,000 units, that's not bad. silver, we don't really need that. Gold nuggets, which came from shooting up the asteroids, and that platinum as well. It's all worth some units. And some of those vortex cubes. Now remember to check out your starship as well. And now we just sold that thing that we found at the ruin, and that was worth more than 200,000. You might notice the prices here are slightly higher than it initially gives you when you check your inventory in the field. But we're just going to hold on to that cobalt for the moment, and we're going to build on that cobalt very shortly. Don't need ion batteries at this stage, but we do want to keep things like ferrite dust, sodium, oxygen, and the like, and carbon, of course. So let's free up some slots in our exosuit, move them across to our starship. We've decided that we actually want to keep these things at this stage. Because once you're out in the field and you're some way away from your starship, you're dependent on your exosuit. So the more slots you have here. And in these stations, there's often a multi-tool, and we can have a look at this one. It's an A-class. It's got many, many more slots than our existing one, as you can see in this comparison. But we don't need slots at this early stage, and anyway, it's too pricey for us at this stage too. So we'll decline this for the moment. You'll be able to get this very soon, if you want to. Now, this is where we get into the serious grinding. We're going to spend about 30 minutes here. The idea here is to actually collect as much cobalt as possible. So start mining against these stalagmites. Scan them first so you know what their content is, and then you get the secondary items from them as well. You can see that this stack of 52 cobalt units was worth about 10,000 units, so we're going to build on that. We're going to mine a stack of cobalt as it has value, and we can manipulate the market in each system to build our wealth over the game. So let's keep on grinding. The more you grind here, the faster you can build wealth going forward. I spent about here, as I say, about 30 minutes in one large cave. And I think I've got about 5,000 units in volume of cobalt. Now you'll notice actually if you keep the meter in the top right up to around 100%, then you'll actually mine faster. You may have to ditch some items in your inventory. Remember how I said about freeing up those slots to actually get some more items. And hey, again, our friend the vortex cubes. Seems to be a lot on this planet, all of them. Okay, and back at the terminal, we can start selling stuff. You can see we've got about 550,000 units to start with. Note the buy price of that cobalt there, 264 units for 1 unit of cobalt. We're going to have to remember that. And we're going to go up and find our cobalt, and we're going to see that we've actually got about 5,000 units of cobalt from our grinding in the cave. So I'm going to see how much we can sell that for. Notice the price there we were actually getting was actually 211 units, not quite the same price as the buy, but if we sell that, then suddenly our unit count goes up to 1.6 million. So it's not a bad rise, about $1.1 million, or units I should say there. And now we can just buy all of the available cobalt at about 52 units rather than the 211 we sold it at. Take everything we can, and that's going to bring our number back down to 1.35 million units there as well. And you'll notice that the actual sell price is actually depressed at 81%. So we're going to sell some more things to free up some more space, and we're also going to get some more units as we go through. So the key thing here is that cobalt is worth a lot of money. When you have a large volume of it and you sell it into a market, then you'll crash the market. So if you sell it, if you could buy it when you go in at 264, but you can sell it at 211, you sell all yours, it crashes that market, and you can buy it back for a very, very cheap price. And that way you actually build up your unit count. Let's have a look at this multi-tool again. Still beyond our reach at this particular stage. Okay, so let's go on to our next source of units. You'll notice there that you actually got an award there for earning so much money. And you've done that very, very simply as well, using a very simple method. Okay, now on to our next source of units. I got lucky and I found this storage depot. And don't forget to scavenge through all the boxes there. Position yourself well here with your bolt caster on and start shooting it up. And we'll have a look at it in a minute. I've got a video on this one, and you've got to be careful about these sentinels. So watch the video on how to actually survive in these sort of situations, particularly at this early stage of the game. But let's see what we actually get out of this. On completion, we get some lermium worth 125,000 units, some dirty bronze that are the same, gold, some more dirty bronze, and some magno gold. So you've just nabbed about 500,000 units for one quick raid, and here we are, we're selling them there, plus a few other things. Note that we, as I said earlier, we seem to be getting slightly higher prices than we were suggested in the field. And again, we'll hold on to our cobalt for future use in new systems. So we're pretty much finished with the cobalt in this particular system. When you warp to another system, you'll be able to sell it again and crash the market, buy it back again at a cheap price. And you'll see here we've now, through our efforts, more than 2.5 million units. And this is a different, it's a C-class multi-tool, and you could buy this one. But frankly, you don't need a tool with this many slots this early in the game. As you can see, we seem to be surviving quite well. So, I said it, we're going to get 2.5 million units. And now you're a magnate. Now here's an alternate game character in which I've used cobalt to manipulate the market in the same way. I've accumulated more than 150 million units. I've got over 60,000 cobalt now, worth about 12 million units every time I go to a new system. And I can buy them back immediately for just over 3 million units. That's a 9 million unit profit in each system. And that's how you build up your wealth. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you found it useful, you learned a few things, and you have as much fun in the game as I did. Happy adventures.